Okay, you know how the story, they didn't spoil the boss, right? There's gonna be a boss mode. I think there's gonna be a boss. But we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. Okay, so with that, God Railers, thank you for coming to our God Rail segment. We are now going to... okay, before we hop back on to Genshin, do you guys have any burning questions? Also, why is that two of me? Do you have any burning questions before I hop off and we can proceed on? We can proceed on with Genshin. But you said can she use her on Elation team? I feel like you could, but it's a very temporary slot. Because I don't think Elation is gonna want a non-Elation. I feel like Elation team, they're just like hella racist, kind of like Nemo slot. Eventually, you want everyone to be Nemo slot or Elation anyways, just to proc Aha skill and give your Aha more speed. So you could use Summer Bobbin for now. I'm pretty sure she will work very, very well, especially if you do Sustainless, to the point where you can zero cycle. But the moment a dedicated Elation comes out, you're not gonna need it anymore. That's what I feel. Very similar to like, should you pull Car for Remembrance back in those days? Maybe you could, right? Maybe you could. But eventually, when they released out with the Elna and Cyrene, Car's hopeless, right? So it's a very, very short-term thing that I wouldn't really bank on. Like, if you're an Elation main, I don't see any point in pulling for Sobin if you know for a fact you just want to play main Elation as a whole, alright? Wave Venturing, I don't think so. Okay, maybe Wave Venturing could work with Babin. But like, it will ruin the old gay vibes with Astro and Emily. I know Bobbin will most likely work with Astro and Blade, but if you still want to slot in Wave Venturing, that means you need to run this as like Sustainers. Right? So if you can run Sustainers, that's great. If you can't run Sustainers with Emblade, then there's gonna be a problem. Because Emblade Sustainers is like there's like a timer on like Emblade Sustainers, right? Because eventually you're gonna run out of HP anyways. For now, maybe it works because there's like not very dangerous endgame content. But after like HP inflation for like half a year, I don't think it'll be very easy to do Emblade Sustainers anymore. Because bro kills himself in combat over time anyways. So that will be that, right? Who is more general? Generally speaking, I feel for one cause, E0, S0, they're both around the same. So you can't really go wrong with either. Yeah, like if you already got yourself an Emblade, it really diminishes. Okay, I feel like if you got Emblade, or like things like E1 Trippy, I think Sobin is a bit hard to slot in, just because of like how replaceable their use case is gonna be. Since it's not very dedicated, that's pretty much it. Blade kills himself, you always have the problem with your team down AoE. Yeah, so like it's just a if you only use your Blade's ultimate to refresh your out duration buff, then you lose hits because your out can't be used to hit anymore, which could be a bit annoying. Not a problem that you'll ever face with Feixiao, by the way, right? Because Feixiao with Emblade and Ashville does so much fucking damage, shows zero cycle the entire game, which is why Feixiao is, always will be, the greatest DPS in the entirety of Godrill, right? You put Emblade since I got no January support. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Okay, I think if you really got Emblade, I really don't think you, like, how many generalist support do you realistically need, chat? Do you need every single generalist support that comes in the game? Like, you're fine without a generalist support, bro. Alright, I feel like having like 2 generalist support is really good. So like, if your account is like an E1 Trinity and Emblade, I really doubt you need a 3rd generalist support. Because you have 3 teams for endgame, if one of which is Mimo slop, Break slop, Aha slop, you're fine. You're legitimately fine, right? So that's it. Okay, until they release like a 14 content, then that will be interesting, right? If they release a 14 content, that will be another bomb. Then we'll see how that. Okay, but the problem of them releasing a 14 content is that by the time that actually comes on, let's just say for example version 5, there is gonna be a version 5 generalist support. So like, what is the point of putting for a generalist support right now if you don't need that generalist support? Because there's gonna be another generalist support anyways. Because every single version has a generalist support, right? So that is pretty much gonna be it. It really just depends on like your teams, right? If your teams could use something right now, then I would say go for it. But like, if your team doesn't need it, then there's no point going for it. Right? Let's just play Tribby, M-Blade, Barbin, and Zorbin. Barbin will 100% be homeless. But I could see that being our case. Your waifu pooler, okay, then go ahead, bro. Yep. Yeah, 3-team corner now is very, very easy because Goryo is Goryo, and Goryo will never forsake his player base. That's why you have free Archer to destroy Team 1. Team 2, if you either play any of the flagships, you should be completely fine. And Team 3 is probably the only one that has a little bit of difficulty, which is where you use like your DOT, right, your Finon, right, your Nimiko, right, your like those non-flagship teams essentially, right? Yeah, HSR is legitimately too fucking generous, bro. And that is why Goryo is Goryo. Okay, with that out of the way,
You have cooled your last cool, my man.